Hi and welcome. This is a tour of the drift set. What we're going to do now is just take you literally on a tour through the whole set so you can see the route that the cast will take and hopefully give you an idea of the format of the ship and how it's laid out. Where we are at the moment, this is what we call set configuration 1. Each sort of amalgamation of set pieces is given a separate configuration number, and all these configurations link up to create the whole ship. So what we'll do is we go through, we'll tell you what configuration number it is, so hopefully you'll get an idea of how the ship's put together. Right, this is number 1, and actually through the wall here is where the Deliverance is shortly going to abut, and a big hole will appear, and that's where the crew will enter this first ship, the Drift 1. What we'll do now is we'll just head sort of down the corridor. We're going to go visit, first of all, the Crystal Room, and then we're going to go see where the Drift 2 actually joins onto the Drift 1. And then we'll go back and have a look through the power bay, off to the computer area, and then eventually we'll end up back here. So what we'll do is we're just going to go down the corridor here and turn left, and head down to set configuration 3, which will then take us on towards the Crystal Room. Okay, and here we are in set configuration 3. This basically is the journey from the Deliverance ship, and this corridor comes down and takes us to several locations. Behind me is a closed blast door, so obviously you won't be seeing what's up there. And then down here would be down to the power bays through that blast door. And I'm just going to head down now here, straight to the crystal chamber. Okay, we're here in set configuration 5. This is the crystal room, which is the power hub of the ship. And basically this will be a central power core with lots of pipes, things around the room, taking power off to the various parts of the ship. Over here we have the 2 ramps. Now these will have blast doors which are closed on the back of them. Unfortunately, to complete the set we would need about 10 blast doors. So we're going to have to be a little bit creative with moving of blast doors depending which angle we're shooting from. But what we'll do is we'll do all the shots on one half, do the shots on the other half, and then move on. We're just going to head off now down the corridor to my right, which will take us down to set configuration 9 Bravo, which is the cargo bay, and also the route down to the Drift 2, which is where the second ship has sort of meshed and merged with this ship. Okay? Okay, this is set configuration 9B. This is basically the big cargo area. What will be in this space over here will be a green screen. And in it you'll see the large cargo hold, with the opposite cargo hold will also be open to space, and there'll be a long corridor breaching it, which is corridor 11, but we can't go in that at the moment because that's the double width corridor, which we haven't got the pieces for yet. So just heading down here, we're going to head down to the entrance to the Drift 2 ship, where the 2 ships, Drift 1 and Drift 2, meet. Okay, so at this end of the corridor is where the Drift 1 and Drift 2 meet. Unfortunately, we haven't got the set piece of the 2 ships coming together yet, but that's what's going to fill this space. We haven't got the Drift 2 either, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back through the Drift 1, back through the crystal chamber, and then have a look at the rest of the ship. Okay, so Drift 2 down that way, we're going back to the crystal chamber here. One important note is that this 16-foot wall in this shot will not have the hole. So a blanking plate has to be created, just to give us the arch, and then 3 half-cut tubes to go over these to actually join the tubes to look like they're connected. So onto the crystal chamber. And here we are back in the crystal room. Now we're just going to basically go back out the way we came, again, and then turn right and head down towards the power bay. A little bit chilly in there, so lots of cooling. This is not for continuity reasons. Purely that it's very, very cold around here. Okay, so we're just going to head down to the power bay now. So, that was Crystal Chamber. What we're actually going to do now is just head down this corridor here and into the power bay. Okay, so we're actually going to go have a look at the power bay now. Now, the power bay is actually where the big fight occurs, one of the big fight occurs. So it's a fairly large space in comparison to the rest of the spaces. Just down this corridor here. This is on configuration 4, and this brings us into the power bay. Now, as I say, it's a very large space. That will be a closed blast door, And obviously there's a few gaps at the moment. We've got a little bit of work to do on the exact configuration of this room, but we'll be sorting that over the next week or so. Now the main wine racks, or the power cells, are actually located on this wall here, and this is where all the action sort of takes place with the power bay. So we're just going to go back up the corridor and continue further into the set, and that will take us into one of the section 9 alpha, which will then lead us back up to the big computer room. So we'll just have a look at it. Okay, just to get your bearings, if we actually went back that way, and we went to the right, we'd be heading back up towards the Deliverance. So we're just going to go a little bit deeper into the ship here and go into section 9A. Right, this is configuration 9A. Just down where I've come from, we've just come from the power bay. This corridor off here, actually, we don't use, but this is a new part of the configuration for this particular area. We put the extra glass door in, we've got the 16-foot wall in. One thing we have to note for when we're actually putting this set together is that we will have to align this set as per the 16-foot wall, because it's on blocks at the moment, very difficult to move and very heavy. So the set will be aligned to the 16-foot wall as a starting point. Okay, we're going to head back down the corridor here. This is going to take us down to configuration area 7/8, because it's used in 2 areas. And that's where the main computer bay is, where they access all the computers. So we're just going to head on down here. Okay, so here we are in set configuration 7 and 8. The only difference between 7 and 8 really is this corridor here. In this set, that glass door will be closed. But once you get that open, it becomes set configuration 8. And there's another 4 corridors down that direction. And if you went down there, that would actually take you back down, carrying on straight to the crystal room. But if you turned left just before you got to the crystal room, that would take you back to where we just come from, which is the power bay. On this wall behind, we have all the computers. This is where Scarlet and the Captain will access the computers and the story. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to head off down here, which is to configuration 6, which is the other computer bay where the computers don't work, and also where Dan will jump into the air ducts during the film. Okay, this is set configuration 6. This is the computer bay where the computers don't actually work. Over here we have the entrance into the ventilation system. This is where Daniel goes into it. Over here we have a glass door. This will be closed, and it's just a storage room that we never go into. And this is where all the computers that don't work will be situated. Right, what we're going to do is just going to carry on now down here. This is going to take us back to where we started, which is set configuration 1, and where the Deliverance is waiting for us. So that's basically the tour. We're just coming in, as I say, from the computer bay. All the computers are broken, and this brings us back to configuration 1, with a hole here where the Deliverance will shortly be joining us. Hope that gives you an idea of how the set works, and we'll see you when the movie comes out.